The United States Senate has confirmed Leo Brent Bozell III as ambassador designate to South Africa, a move that signals a sharp shift in Washington's diplomatic posture toward Pretoria at a time of heightened bilateral tension. The confirmation vote was held on Thursday, the 18th of December 2025, and passed narrowly along party lines by 53 votes to 43. With the Senate's approval secured, Bozell's previously stated positions now become the official mandate of the incoming U.S. envoy to South Africa. Bozell's appointment comes amid the most strained relations between the two countries since South Africa's democratic transition in 1994. Diplomatic tensions have intensified following a series of disputes linked to a United States-affiliated refugee processing facility in Johannesburg. South African authorities recently raided the center and deported Kenyan nationals employed there, prompting Washington to accuse Pretoria of harassment and respond with unusually strong diplomatic language. During his appearance before the U.S. Foreign Relations Committee in October, Bozell adopted a confrontational tone, accusing South Africa of abandoning its non-aligned foreign policy stance and aligning itself with Washington's strategic rivals. He specifically cited growing ties with China, Russia, and Iran, and pledged to challenge what he described as a shift away from Western interests. Those remarks now form the foundation of his diplomatic mission. Bozell's run-date is structured around three core priorities. The first involves countering China's influence in South Africa, particularly in infrastructure, energy, and logistics. The United States is expected to use trade leverage and investment pressure to curb Beijing's strategic footprint while reasserting American economic influence. The second priority centers on South Africa's case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. Bozell has characterized the genocide application as political lawfare and has been tasked with pressuring Pretoria to withdraw the case. This position places Washington directly at odds with one of South Africa's most prominent foreign policy initiatives. The third pillar concerns refugee policy. Bozell is expected to oversee the implementation of a 2026 refugee quota prioritizing Afrikaners. South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation has rejected the program, describing it as based on a false narrative of racial persecution. Tensions escalated further after South African authorities raided a U.S.-linked Afrikaner refugee processing center earlier this week, triggering a rapid exchange of diplomatic responses. Relations deteriorated further on the day of Bozell's confirmation. The U.S. State Department, through its embassy in Pretoria, accused South African authorities of exposing the passport details of American officials following the raid. The statement warned of consequences should those responsible not be held accountable, reinforcing perceptions that Bozell's role will be more enforcement-oriented than conciliatory. These developments follow a year of escalating measures by Washington. The United States has excluded South Africa from participation in the 2026 G20 meetings it will host, citing Pretoria's foreign policy alignment. Trade tensions have also increased, with reciprocal tariffs of 30% imposed on South African exports, particularly affecting the automotive and agricultural sectors. Despite his confirmation, Bozell cannot formally assume his duties until he presents his letters of credence to President Cyril Ramaphosa. South Africa controls the timing of that process, and any delay would leave the ambassador designate in diplomatic limbo. Analysts say the coming weeks will indicate whether Pretoria opts for confrontation, containment, or strategic distance as one of the most controversial ambassadorial appointments in recent history moves closer to reality.